Alright, hello everyone, this is Sean Hansen again. Today I'm going to tie up, I guess you could call this my flagship pattern, the meal ticket streamer. It's an articulated streamer. It's done a little bit differently than others. So what we're going to start off with here is it's actually an owner Mosquito hook in a size 6, I believe. This is going to be our stinger tail hook. So start off with some thread. UTC 140 here. Let's get that on, get a good thread base. And then on that, we're going to tie in our rabbit strip tail. So I'm going to peel back so there's just enough, basically enough rabbit hide to get to the end of the hook. Part those fibers out and tie it on. Just about a half dozen wraps or so. Then we're going to whip finish that off. Cut off our thread. Here, I like to do a quick drop of super glue for durability. Right on our thread. Just a little drop there is all you need. Work that on a little bit. All right, so here is what makes this one a little bit different as far as articulations go. We're going to start off. This is Power Pro 30-pound test. You can go as light as 20-pound and as heavy as 50-pound if you want. The heavier you go, the stiffer it tends to get. And then we use 5 little crafting glass or plastic beads here. I like to use red on all my meal ticket flies. Just adds just a little bit of color. Like I said, there's going to be 5 of these. This is going to give you your spacing and proper proportions. Three, 4, and 5. All right, so that's on there. I'm going to take that out of the vise. In goes our front hook. This is a Daiichi 2461 in a size 4 with a pearl white bead going on it. Lock that in. Get our thread started. Then wrap that back to right where the bend of the hook starts. And then we're going to take our stinger section here, the rear portion that we already tied up. Now, the thing you got to keep in mind here is aligning whatever material you're using for your attaching your trailer hook. Make sure everything's nice and straight, otherwise it's going to impart some weird little twist into it. So we're going to tie that in and space it out so those beads have a little bit of room to wiggle here. We're still a little long. Right about there. We're going to tie in our rabbit. I'm just going to do a couple loose wraps there, so I want to make sure that everything's tied in well. So I can see my rabbit just a little bit loose. I'm going to pull that forward just a smidge. There we go, that looks good. Now I'm going to get some thread wraps in here. Make sure this is all fastened down really nicely. I'm going to cover up and wrap up my trailer attachment material. Tie that down real well. Then I'm going to cut that off, fold that over, and bind that down, and that's enough. It's going to provide enough strength to handle anything. I haven't had any fish pull that out on me personally. If you want to, you can tie in a little bit of flash right there. I'm going to skip that on this one here because this is how I originally tied this fly. This is actually one of my patterns that is available through Rainey's. Has been since about 2009, 2010. Somewhere in that time frame. So now we just got some crystal flash chenille, sparkle chenille, staz. Any of those materials are going to work. I'm going to wrap this up for our body. It's just going to be nice. Close touching wraps. Going to go all the way up to just shy of the cone head. Tie that off. All right, wing over the top here is Marabou. I prefer Wooley Bugger Marabou, strung Marabou, just because it's a little bit thicker. You can see with these fibers up here, they've got a bunch of small little filaments. Add a little bit of extra body. For length on this, I tie it so it reaches just shy of the hook of the eye of the rear hook. So right about there. Just one plume is all you need. If you've got strung blood Marabou quills, those tend to be a little bit less full. If I were using those, I'd probably use 2 plumes just to get the body that I want and the volume. So that kind of brings everything together. Next up are some rubber legs. I like to put 3 on each side. These kind of help do a little bit of movement. Kind of act like pectoral fins. I'm going to tie these in the same length as the wing. So 3 on this side. Give a little bit of tension when you cut off rubber legs. That'll help them be nice and short. When I'm tying on the far side of the hook, I like to lay my hook sideways like this and lay my materials on it. That way I can measure it up. Hold that in place. A couple wraps. All right, get that out of the way. All right, almost there. Last material. CCT Body Fur, Cascade Crest Tools. In white on this particular one, obviously. Gonna tie that in. This I like to use lots of thread on right here, because this material likes to be a little unruly and a little bit slippery and pull out on you sometimes. So that's in there nice and good. And then I like to take some super glue and force it underneath the cone head here on those thread wraps I just did. That way when I wrap the CCT here, the body fur, I'm only going to need about 2 to 3 wraps. Force it underneath the cone. There we go. That's also going to adhere and hold that body fur in place. So if you give yourself just enough room there and force it underneath that cone, you can see that that thread head just about disappears on you there. Quick whip finish. Oops, sorry, bumped the camera there. And then what I like to do on this guy, like I said, this material likes to be slippery and pull out, is yet more super glue on the thread. Just get it so you can see a couple little beads on there. Hold all this back and just wrap that in place. And that's going to adhere on top of those whip finishes that you do to finish it off. So there you go. Let me raise you up so you can see it just a little bit better. All right. There you are. A little bit of a time-consuming fly. A little bit faster. I'm not trying to do it on camera. But nice and durable. Good size. Lots and lots of movement on this guy. All right. Again, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.